April has been a very busy month. The days are long and filled with nightmarish things like going outside and social interactions. Ugh. After facing all those horrors, I come home completely beaten. Then I want to just sit back, relax, and play some video games. But when energy levels are below zero, I don't want to read long stories, focus on multiple gameplay elements, or having to absorb every little thing a game has to offer. Thankfully, there are games that require only the bare minimum of those things to be played. And in busy weeks like these, I enjoy those games quite a lot. But they are very small games, with not a lot of depth or things to talk about. So making a full review would be kinda of an overkill, as it would only take a couple of minutes to say everything there is to say. So, I came with the unoriginal idea of going over 4 of these kind of games in 4 minutes. Yeah, that's a nice title, but I might need a little bit more. Maybe 8 minutes? Yeah, that is possible, but I don't know yet. It's just that... Okay, you know what? It will be 4 games in however long it takes me to tell you everything you need to know, what to expect, the how and the why I enjoy it, and find those games relaxing.
Now, let's not waste any more time and start in 3, 2, 1.
Catan is probably a board game everyone at some point in their life has played or at least knows of. Maybe it's just me, but I don't like that board game at all. But I do like its map building. I mean, it are hexagons after all. So, how about a game that removes the game aspect of Catan and is just about building an endless expanding Catan map? Introducing Dorfromantik, a game where you get to do exactly that. In this puzzle game, you build a beautiful landscape via connecting different types of tiles. The amount of tiles you have is limited, and the only way to get more is by completing tasks. These focus heavily on how well you chain specific tiles together and favor those who plan out their map the best. The overall goal here is of course to keep going as long as possible, because the longer you go, the higher your score will be. This by itself is a fun challenge worth of focusing on if you enjoy these kind of puzzle games, but for me, this game is way too relaxing to be taken so seriously. Thankfully, there is a creative mode which removes the task element and just let you build how and whatever you want. Challenge or creative mode, it doesn't matter. Both modes are very nice, and it's just so satisfying to see your board grow further and further with towns, farmland, rivers, lakes, and open fields. It is this natural growth that makes this game so relaxing, and every single time I am easily taken away by how a world is slowly formed by just plopping down some tiles, connecting them in nice ways, while being challenged creatively or for a higher score. But let's say you dislike hexagons, but love other shapes, then maybe Shapez might be for you. This game offers a very similar experience like Factorio, Satisfactory and Dyson Sphere Project. The goal of the game is to build the most effective chains of belts and machinery possible to obtain resources. If you do this well enough, the rewarding feeling is immense and visually very satisfying. Shapez, however, differentiate itself from the before mentioned games by setting the skill level to obtain this rewarding feeling a lot lower. Mistakes and imperfections are not punished harshly like in the before mentioned games. The map itself is just one big playing field, and the game encourages you to play around in it freely and explore its possibilities. There are no enemies, no timers, no obstructions, no resource management, or a very extensive deep tech tree. It is just you, some shapes, some colors, and a handful of options to build and shape your shape factory in the way you want it to be. It is this exact approach why I found this game to be so relaxing, but more importantly, accessible. Yeah, it requires you to think a little bit, but it requires a lot less from you than something like Satisfactory. When I play Shapez, I feel challenged but not overburdened by an endless pile of tasks to take care of. I can just sit back, relax, listen to the music while I build a chain here and there. Though I also have been just sitting around listening to the music itself, because damn, the music in Shapez is great. But maybe you don't want to hear heart-slapping music and instead want the peace and quiet that nature has to offer. Then Terra Nil might be for you. In this game you are tasked with restoring nature on a ruined planet. You make the ground fertile, control and affect the atmosphere, bring back flora and fauna, and of course eventually animals. Once that is all done, you of course have to clean your mess up and pack up your things before you can leave to the next barren wasteland. Terra Nil calls itself a builder/city builder, but if you ask me, it's actually a very relaxing yet shallow puzzle game. The only thing you need to solve and manage is your currency, which works with the snowballing effect where buildings cost money, but when placed correctly gives you a lot more in return, which then means you can build more buildings, which then means you can even get more money, which you get where I'm going with this. Which sounds rather shallow and easy for a puzzle game, which I'm actually fine with, as I heavily favor Terra Nil's quirky presentation and relaxing atmosphere. You are just going through the terraforming bases at your own speed, and over time see this barren chunk of land transform in a green lush chunk of land filled with life. That's just a very calming and even a bit of a hypnotizing experience, and I loved it. The only problem I have with Terra Nil is that its relaxing novelty wears off rather quickly compared to the other games on this list. Now, to close off this list, I picked a game that is very similar to the one I started it with. Islanders is a build game where you get to build communities on small islands. But instead of connecting shapes, you connect buildings via their spheres of effect. If the correct buildings are placed in those spheres, you earn points. These points add up to your score, but also unlock new sets of buildings to keep you going. There will be a point where you can't build any more on your current island, even though you have earned enough points. This might just be because your island is completely full, or you have reached the maximum points with how your build strategy worked out. Yet, if you earned enough points on this island, you can choose to move on to the next, which shakes up your playthrough quite a lot. Not only do you get new buildings, but the island itself offers a completely new situation and build challenges. On top of that, the further you go, the more effective you need to be in scoring points to keep progressing. The decent challenging puzzle Islanders offers is a lot of fun, and because you get into new situations rapidly, rarely becomes mundane. And just like other games on this list, there's no urge, no threat or real reason to make fast choices or progress at a rapid pace. Therefore, the experience will be quite relaxing, and it can even be more relaxing. If you don't want any challenge, a creative mode is offered here as well, which allow you to build your own cute little island in the way you want. And that's it. That were 4 simple, relaxing build games in under 9 minutes. There we go. 4 relaxing build games in under 9 minutes, just like I planned it at the beginning. Anyway, I hope there was something useful on this list for you. I also hope things will quiet down for me soon once April ends. Because many games I'm interested in also released in April, so I haven't been able to touch any of those yet. But I can't wait to get into some of those and review them when the time comes. So subscribe if you don't want to miss out on those or potentially other content that I make, like this list or about my game collection. But now, with that all being said, I want to thank you very much for watching. I wish you a good day, and until next time.